Hi, I'm Sarah.
And I'm David, and we are talking about Survivor 45 premiere.
Together. It's been too long.
I know. I'm back in person. We did those drafts apart, and it killed me, and I'm glad to be here sitting next to you, Sarah.
But first, if you're new to this channel, please click subscribe and give this video a thumbs up.
And you can support us on Patreon at patreon.com/Nerdtainment.
Survivor is here.
I'm so happy in this 90-minute episode. It didn't feel like 90 minutes. Okay, I want to be honest.
Oh.
Come clean moment.
Okay.
I generally don't like supersized episodes. I love an hour of television. I love 42 minutes. Tell me the story in that amount of time so I can move on with my life. And I know that's a controversial thing to say. And people say you're not a super fan because super fans always want to see more. I don't always think more is better. Okay. But I got to say, this 90-minute episode, I didn't feel like, oh, it's dragging. They haven't figured out like what material to include to, make it compelling. Everything I thought was compelling. I'm super excited for this season.
So this whole preseason, when me and everyone else are like 90 minutes.
Well, and I've been that way too, because I don't want to like yuck anybody's yum.
Okay.
Everybody, I think, generally was really excited for the 90-minute episode. So I too have been like a cheerleader, like, yay, we get these bonus episodes. But secretly I was a little bit like, I don't know.
You're like my time is precious.
For example, when they changed RuPaul's Drag Race from an hour to 90 minutes, I felt that they didn't add anything to the show that justified the 90 minutes. It was just like, now we're like sitting watching like all this extra time of them like rehearsing or like workroom stuff that isn't interesting. But everything they added to make Survivor 90 minutes, I thought was really interesting.
Yeah, I agree that it didn't feel like, oh, now we're adding this. It just flowed, right?
Yeah.
They just filled in where they needed to.
Yeah.
And at an hour mark, I was like, oh my God, we're just playing Immunity. This is amazing. Yeah. I loved it.
Yes.
Okay. This Survivor premiere is controversial. The ending.
Oh, yeah.
Angered some people, and some people were like, whatevs. So we'll get there.
We'll get there.
But it's very exciting, right? It's like 80 minutes of exciting.
It is.
And then the last
10 minutes, you're like, what's happening? Yeah.
Sarah's first draft pick?
What?
Out of nowhere?
Yeah.
I bet everybody thought that.
Yeah, everybody was saying that, actually. I saw it on CNN. But I love we always love the openings with the like dramatic choreographed boat things.
Yes.
I am already, I know Emily is going to be a controversial character and people are going to love to hate her.
Yeah.
I'm just loving to love her now. This whole I want to be the first one voted off because it's a waste of time. And I know we kind of knew she said that in like the preseason stuff. But I loved hearing it in this episode because I'm just like, I don't think people have the balls to say something like that. And I just love that she does. Like, I think most people would be like, if I feel that like that, I would never say it because I'll get ripped apart by the fandom. Right. I don't know if she's naive or clueless or what, but she's saying it. And I'm entertained.
She is saying it for sure. I mean, honestly, I feel bad that she feels that way. But yeah, sure. If you feel it, go ahead. Be honest.
And she's honest throughout this episode. I have many thoughts on Emily and we'll get there as the moments happen. But she likes to gonna be a fun villain.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping she stays for that reason. I loved seeing Sifu do Tai Chi on the boat. He's like,
I was loving Sifo. I was like, yes, sir. Thank you for that Sagittarius energy coming in.
Yes.
Being a wild, crazy person.
And then I loved Jeff doing his intro and he's just standing on a boat. Remember the days when Jeff was standing on the edge of a helicopter that would do a big dip?
On its side, and he's like Cirque du Soleil out of it.
It's 23 years later, folks, and Jeff's like, I'm standing on a boat, and you can zoom out with your drone. That's all I got.
Like they had to shoot 90-minute episodes. They didn't have the money for a helicopter. They were like, get your butt on a boat, sir. We're just doing boats this year.
Yes.
Yellow is crying.
Oh, yeah.
As a group,
they're emotional.
Stepping up on the boat, crying, and you're like, "Oh, they're special."
Yeah,
this is our special.
And it's our super fan Brandon, who's really he's like carrying the Olympic torch of crying.
Yep.
He's like, I am in the lead. This is my brand. I'm a crier. And then Jeff says something to him and makes him cry some more.
Like, I can't, Jeff. I can't. Just hold on. I can't. I'm here. I can't. Oh my gosh. I was like, Brandon, rein it in just for like the game of it. Like,
yeah.
He was like, I have been a super fan since I was in utero. And yeah, he was just like spilling it. I was like, oh, here we go.
He's been trying to get on the show for a long time, he thinks. And he's finally there.
Then the blue tribe, well, obviously the red came up first, but then the blue tribe comes in third. And Kendra, our Libra, I shouldn't say our Libra because we have like 14 of them.
Yeah.
But she's like, it's so balanced. My Libra is happy. And I was like, thank you.
So I was thinking of you every second of astrology talk in this 90 minutes. I was like, oh, they added 30 minutes of astrology talk for Sarah.
Exactly. They were like, we have 90 minutes, so let's add that astro talk, okay? And I was like, yes, I love it.
Yes.
BT Dubs, Emily and I have already connected on Instagram.
Oh, good.
And talked all the astrology. I love it.
Oh, good.
Literally so excited.
Oh, how fun.
Yeah.
That's great.
Did I say Emily?
Yeah, you did.
I said I'm in Kendra.
Kendra,
like,
okay.
Why would I be
like,
talking to
Emily doesn't strike me as an astrology person, and I love that.
No.
Okay.
Not your villain.
Yeah.
My astrological queen.
Kendra.
That's who I'm connecting with.
Okay, that's amazing.
Ooh, okay.
Oh, good. That's so fun.
Yes.
We also hit Bruce on Bello Blue, right?
Welcome back.
They show his injury again. I'm like, these producers, they will stop at nothing to show a dramatic injury. I'm closing my eyes. But he's very much like, I got no advantage. I was here for 12 hours. That doesn't help me at all. And then Emily's like, I would push back.
I'm going to push back, sir.
You did the whole preseason thing.
Yeah.
You know, you've been here. You've done this whole thing.
Literally on a boat.
We've not ever done this before. So I actually think you do have an advantage.
Yeah. And then he's like, I don't, but let me give you some advice.
Yeah.
And she's like, that's exactly what I'm talking about.
You just proved my point,
Yeah,
sir.
I was like, Bruce, you did just kind of prove her point.
But I'm also like, Emily.
Yeah. Oh, why? Emily, why?
Why?
What are you doing? No one knows who you are yet. What are you doing?
Now they do know who you are.
Yeah, she's like, I would like everyone to know who I am. And that I am out for blood.
Yeah. You know the casting producers, though, were like, this is going to be gold. Someone who can't help themselves, but reveal who they are.
She can't.
It's a dream. So then they get into a challenge where they have to empty that large crate that's full of rope and sandbags.
Sure.
And then they have to like go to the boat, row the boat back in, and get this key thing off of a loop-de-loop little
Swim to the boat, come up. Okay. We're moving along until we hit this ladder.
Yeah.
And Brandon has no control over his body anymore.
He seems to lose all leg strength.
He's like a jellyfish.
Yeah.
On the ladder.
Yeah. Like his bones all like evaporated.
Yeah.
And he's just skin and tissue and he just can't lift himself up.
Did you love Jatia? I can't remember. Jatia who dumped the rice.
Who dumped the rice? Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I thought so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ben, good call. Good call.
Yeah. Oh, yes, for sure. And I also got a little bit of Angelina vibes from Emily with the like, I'll push back. That like kind of was like, Jeff, you know, like I have to interrupt in this moment.
Let's negotiate.
Yeah, right. But yes, Brandon is like flopping all over the ladder. It's such a scramble, the whole thing, that Sean, who's also on Lulu Yellow, by the way, just so that everybody's clear. There's Reba Red, who I'm going to call Reba McEntire.
Okay,
Thank you. I'm glad we're on the same page.
Yep.
Bello Blue, I couldn't come up with anything fun. Lulu Yellow, I'm going to call Lululemon.
Lululemon, absolutely.
So that just so everybody knows, that's what I'm going to refer to them. So on Lululemon, Sean just scrambles up. He's like trying to help Brandon for a second with the ladder, and then he's like, I'm just going to go.
He's out. Yeah.
So he's up, and then they're like just waiting for Brandon. And Brandon, I think, is like,
never comes.
Nobody's going to help me.
Yeah. No, he laid down in the boat. He's like, I can't do it. And so the tribe is like, oh, there's nothing to do except Sean, you have to do something. And Sean, have you seen Sean? He's this big.
He's only bones. Like where Brandon has no bones in this moment and can't climb, Sean is only bones.
I'm sure Sean was like, what do you think I can do?
Right.
Have you seen me? But he has no choice. So he's like,
Yeah.
can I
Grab my
help
wrist,
you?
I guess.
Like, I mean, Sean does it.
Yeah.
I don't know how he did it, but like this whole segment with Brandon, my heart is breaking.
Yeah, because Lululemon had taken the lead in the boat.
Yes.
Reba McEntire had gotten through the crate thing fast because Sifu and Austin are like physical beasts. They were in the water first, but then Lululemon had made up all this time in the water. But then Brandon is like absolutely blowing the lead.
No, absolutely. You're just, he clearly is having a panic attack.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm sure he was really exhausted, but like it's a lot.
Yeah.
He was crying.
Yeah.
This is too much.
Yeah.
So my heart is breaking for them.
Yeah.
But when we get to the last part, because they are going to finally get up there, I think Red has been doing that thing for a while.
The loop thing for a while. Yes. Yeah.
And then Yellow gets up there. It's Emily and Hannah, I believe.
Yeah. And they're kind of killing it.
They fly through.
Yeah.
It was so close.
Yeah, because I think, maybe they smartly were like watching the other tribes sort of do the trial and error of the, roundabout getting the bag off. But so they do make up a lot of time, but it is Drew, I believe, who, rips open the bag for Reba McEntire and they get the flint, which that's the tribe that we had all talked about preseason. Like they look pretty stacked. They're going to be winning a lot of challenges.
Absolutely. I mean, I was honestly shocked that Yellow was even close.
I know.
At this point.
Mm-hmm.
Because you think Red's gonna just take it.
Yeah.
Not my joke, but how dare they do Reba before Sia,
Oh yeah.
Just rude.
That is rude. And Reba's on The Voice on NBC. It's a different network.
This has got to.
Who's not thinking about
the
this?
rights on this just should not have worked out.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, they got to put us on production.
So Reba McEntire, they get the flint. They're the only tribe that gets flint now.
Yeah.
The other and supplies, right?
Yeah.
Now the other two tribes have to send a duo each to do the sweat versus savvy. Sweat or savvy thing.
Sweat versus savvy is, well, it used to be sweat and savvy. Now it's sweat versus savvy.
Mm-hmm.
Is a little different.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So we've got two duos. From Blue, we've got Brando and Jake.
Yeah.
And we've got Caleb and Sabaya from Yellow, who are going to head off.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Brandon's going to stay back.
Check. Yeah.
Like,
Jeff's like, I don't know what's going on, though. We're going to check you.
We're going to check on you. And we hop off. Okay. So, but first, we're going to check in with each tribe.
Right. Reba McEntire's first. It's J Maya, right? Not Jemaya. J Maya. Jay.
Yeah.
Jay. She acknowledges right away that Reba McEntire is stacked, which is what we have all been saying, and she sees it.
Yep.
And they acknowledge the symbols on the sign. They made a point to like zoom in on that. So I immediately was like, that's something. There's something going on there.
Yeah, they're all happy.
Yeah.
I mean, life is good in Survivor.
Of course, they have a machete.
They've got the biggest people. They've got their supplies.
Yeah.
Let's go. They're going to do some intros.
Yeah.
Julie's going to lie about her job.
She's like, I'm an art teacher. Which honestly is a good lie. She looks like an art teacher.
Well, and I think she used to be one.
Yeah.
So,
which is smart. Lie saying you have a job that you
Yes.
actually held at some point in your life.
Absolutely.
And then Drew's talking about this dual personality thing.
Because he's a Libra.
Okay.
So you got to have two sides.
He does. Yeah.
I
it's
love
like
it.
his Sasha Fierce personality coming out.
Beautiful.
Then we go over to Bella Blue.
Bella Blue.
Bruce getting more camera time. I think the producers are like, give this man the airtime he deserves. And also, he's a familiar face.
For lost time.
Yeah.
Yes. But Bruce is like, guys, I am not a leader.
I'm not a dad.
So I'm going to lead you guys to believe I'm not a leader.
Yes. But then I'm going to lead.
Exactly.
And I'm going to act like your dad.
That did not work out for you, Bruce.
Yeah.
He was like, so let me just say, but one more thing.
Uh-huh.
And then that's not how you do it.
You want the wet wood.
And it's
because it's going to create the smoke.
Yeah.
And
like waste of time. So let's do this. But I am the cool uncle.
No. But yeah.
You can't really claim to be the cool uncle. You just have to be
the cool uncle. That's
right.
And then this is where the horoscope talk really starts in earnest. And I was like, I literally had you in my brain. And I was seeing you just taking all of these notes, like filing it all away. And I was like, Sarah is loving this.
Yeah, I was. Because Kendra says, oh, I'm September. Your birthday's September? And then she
Are
was,
we all Virgos?
I was like, that's exactly what I did pre-season. I was like, September. They're all Virgos and Libras? Like we were doing the same thing.
Yeah.
So I was like, yes, I know.
I knew that was going to make you happy.
But honestly, before that, Emily was like, hey, everybody's shady. She was like, look, they volunteered to do this thing.
Wait, who's saying this?
Emily, your villain.
This is on Lululemon.
Yeah. Aren't we there?
We were at Bello Blue talking about horoscopes, but then we go to Lululemon.
Perfect. We moved over to a different color.
Yeah.
And Emily is just planting her seeds.
Oh, yeah.
That everyone is up to no good.
Oh, yeah. She is so paranoid and just assumes the worst.
She really does.
She's like, oh, wow, they volunteered to help. What do you think that means?
Yeah, obviously, that means something horrible.
They're up to something.
Not that they want to get supplies for the tribe. That wouldn't be an option.
Right. Not that maybe they're the two most physical people on the tribe who volunteered to do an incredibly physical challenge for the good of the tribe. No. There's an ulterior motive.
Of course. Yes.
Yeah.
Brandon's going to return. He's alive.
Yeah. Everyone was very like, it was so funny when he's like still, I think, recovering a little bit. And the rest of them are like wired. It's like they all chugged a Red Bull and they were very up. And they were like, where are you from, Brandon? Oh, I mean, how do you feel? Like they just were like, zipping him with questions. And I think he was like, I'm good.
He genuinely goes, Jersey, bad. Yeah. To the point that I thought, is Jersey bad like slang for really not great? He goes,
I'm not just bad, I'm Jersey bad.
Yeah, I was like, never heard it.
Yeah.
No, he was like, Jersey bad.
Yeah.
Where am I?
He's like, slow down, you guys. You are on one right now. But they're all like, they're very alert and like excited. But I don't know that I can remember a group of people who are less equipped to build a shelter at this point. The woman is sweeping the floor of the jungle.
Not since Chaos Cass and Jatia and oh my God.
Yeah.
We haven't had a tribe that is going to deliver such mess in quite a while. Truly,
it's quite fun to watch.
Them going, how do we, who builds shelter? How do we?
It's like,
no one is
They needed
up.
Bruce from Bello Blue to come over and boss them around like a dad because they had no clue.
No one going, yeah, let's get some bamboo. It's just completely.
You've got Hannah, who will get there, but she's not even equipped to be on this show, period. You've got Sean, who, like we said, is a bag of bones. Brandon, who has no bones. And Emily, who's like, everything here sucks. Like, what a group to be building a shelter.
It was so good at this moment of just like, we're lost. Okay, cut to Sweat versus Savvy.
Yes.
Oh boy, it's different.
So this is where we find out that it is Sweat and Savvy.
Yeah.
But these two teams are going against each other.
Okay.
So one of them is going to win or not. Because there's also a time limit. It's an hour.
Right. They've got a time limit, which I was like, great. The Sweat doesn't seem as bad. Because previously, that Sweat took them, it was a 4-hour time limit or something.
True.
Okay,
Good point.
It's a little bit better, but you're competing.
Yeah.
So we see them just like dying through the Sweat part of it. Struggle.
I mean, from what they were sort of able to capture, like footage-wise, the Sweat part seemed harder because they just were like, I mean, the visuals of Jake just like chucking logs.
Yeah.
They're, dropping them off of their shoulders. There comes a point where they're having to work as a team, and like the two of them on both sides have to like carry one log together. So that seems like a lot of work, but I think that took up maybe the majority of the hour.
Yeah.
And the puzzle was incredibly difficult, and they were so taxed, like physically and probably mentally by the end of it, that neither of them made any kind of progress that made any sense on the puzzle.
Right. And the Bella Blue, we have Jake, and who did we have?
Brando.
Yeah. And you're like, okay, this seems interesting.
Physical and puzzle.
Yeah. I think we're balanced. We're thinking this through.
Yeah.
And then you get to the puzzle, and Brando's like, Wait, what?
I don't know.
And I was like, what is this?
I would love like a tutorial on how they were supposed to solve that thing.
How was
I don't even know what it was.
They all just stand there for, it seemed like
they
maybe
literally
the last
just kind of like tugged at a
minutes.
rope, and they were like, I have no clue how this is supposed to get undone.
And the sand disappears, hourglass is over, and they're like, okay, we're all big losers.
Yeah.
Great. Okay.
Yeah. So time runs out. Neither of them get it. So then we are coming back to camp, right? So Lululemon, Caleb, and Sabaya are boating back to their campsite.
Yes.
And this is where Emily's like, they said they didn't win. Well, my guess is they took an advantage.
Yeah, she's immediately like, yeah, that's what I thought.
Saw this one coming.
They got nothing.
Of course. Likely story.
Like, we see Blue show up, and they're like, oh, y'all didn't get anything? Oh, my. No. Yellow is like, well, that's what they're...
Oh, yeah. Emily's like, could have told you that they wouldn't come back with anything.
They took a reward, didn't they?
And Hannah and Brandon might not even know that Caleb and Sabaya are back because they are crying in the forest together. And they're like, I don't know if we can do it.
Y'all, this is also one of my favorite scenes. And two people just be like, I'm hungry. And I don't know what and the other one's like, I know, this is so hard. My toes are wet. It's like, oh.
I gotta say,
what?
I saw a little bit of us in that.
Yeah.
I was like, this might be us if we were out there.
This is why we're not on the show. Because we do that in a house.
Yeah, right.
That's exactly us.
We're like, we have to go make food?
Bring it to us. Why is the air not on?
Thank God they have each other because they're crying, they're processing. It's like a nicotine thing for Hannah. She's like, I'm going through withdrawals. And then they're like,
hold up. You're doing what? You chose your first day on the island of Fiji?
To quit smoking.
To quit your nicotine habit?
I know. But then they somehow talk each other into like, we can do hard things. We can do hard things.
Yeah, she's her therapist.
Yeah.
We can do hard things. We can do it.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, back to Bella Blue.
Yeah, Bella Blue, we say Katurah. We see Katurah, Kendra, and Kelly together.
Okay, love.
Yes.
These three are like, look at us, stick together. Let's go.
And Kendra wants Jake out because Jake is a lawyer. And Katurah is like, this is why I told y'all I'm not telling anybody that I'm a lawyer.
She's like,
see what happens.
Look at this. And what does she do? She's like, let me just get all the tools I can against Jake. Hey, Jake, you're a lawyer? Tell me about lawyering.
You just passed the bar?
Oh, wow.
Tell me more about that.
I just never spend time with lawyers. How does this work?
That was the best comment. What? She's like, I'm just not around lawyers that much.
I just don't even. And then she's like, he's a baby lawyer. He just
can't help himself.
It out.
Yeah.
Yes, he wants to talk about it. Great. She's like, that ain't my problem.
Oh my God.
That was
so good.
Beautiful.
But I also am watching this and I'm like, she's saying like, I'm going to put a target on him, but I'm also like, consider keeping him as a shield.
Yeah.
Because that people are targeting him now. So like, I love what she's doing there in terms of like really bringing that out because she knows that people don't like that about him. But at the same time, I think she might benefit from kind of keeping him a little close and keeping him around and having him as an easy target.
I mean, I thought it was interesting. Well, I think both girls and I thought it was interesting that Kendra was like, let's get rid of Jake. Because they were like, wait, he's a strong guy.
They're like, I don't know about that.
Why would we do that? And then she's like, lawyer. And okay.
Well,
all right.
Yep. Then over at Lululemon.
Got to go back.
Continuing to struggle with the building a shelter. And Emily is just pointing out all of the problems. No solutions from Emily.
None.
She's just like, it's not level.
Yeah, okay.
And
do something about it.
Yeah.
Like, thank goodness Sabaya came back because it seems like she's the one who was like, oh, let's do things.
Yeah.
Never mind, I just like hauled logs on the beach for you guys. But okay, let's keep working. And then Emily has the audacity to just stand there and go, I don't like that. No,
it doesn't look very good.
No, that's not going to work.
And everybody's like, this woman is glass half empty. Yes. She's very pessimistic, very negative.
Half empty. I think it is like.
It's like
very empty.
Yeah, maybe a drop.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then someone says like, oh, it's looking like a camp. And I'm looking at it and I'm like, it's looking like a prison. Like it does not
great.
look good.
No. And we keep hearing we can do hard things.
Yes. And then they get onto the pyramid alien conversation. And Emily is looking around like, I'm surrounded by crazy people.
She's like, I have nothing to contribute to this.
I can't possibly engage in this.
No.
And she literally is just like, I've never thought about it. Never thought about aliens building the pyramids.
Look,
She can't hide her face.
She can't. In the confessional to us, she's like, I don't know how to be around these people.
Yeah.
They are not like me.
Yeah.
I am different. And I can't even pretend to be someone else. And I was like, look, those words are not too far off from Carolyn's last year. She was like, I got to be myself. I can't relate.
Yeah.
I can't even pretend.
Yep.
And I was like, so casting was like, let's do that again.
Do that again.
But with the most negative person in the world.
Carolyn, not Caroline, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Carolyn was the ultimate sweetest person, like ray of sunshine. Emily is a dark storm cloud, perhaps, you know? But you're right. It's like a similar sort of character trait of like, I am who I am.
I am who I am.
And I'm going to say what is on my mind. And I'm not going to pretend to be anything other than that. Yeah. But it's just not as magnetic.
It's not pleasant to be around.
Yeah. That's what it is.
Yeah. I feel you. Like, I don't like to pretend to fit in with everyone I'm in a group with either. It's like, oh, this is uncomfortable.
But
still be polite.
Yeah.
Like, my gosh, don't be a Debbie Downer.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Okay.
We go over to Rita McEntire.
Yeah.
Sifu's out looking for an idol. Everybody knows it.
Sifu.
He's like, I'm playing a Tony game. I am under the radar. I am stealth. And then they cut to the well where Dee's like, he thinks he's playing a Tony game.
She's like, he's out looking, right? They're all like, yeah, let's go find him. Cut to him like barely hiding behind a bush.
And then they're like, we see you spying on us. It's like a comedy segment, ultimately. Like, it doesn't seem like they're really like, Sifu's a problem, we have to get him out.
No.
But they are a little bit like, this man is not as like clever as he thinks he is. We've got our eye on you.
Yeah.
And so they catch him spying, but what they don't catch is Austin.
Oh, he's much better at this.
Finding the beware advantage.
He's so sly.
Yeah.
He's just moving about his life while he's got his
looking
eyes.
for firewood.
Yeah.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
He grabs it, sees it's the beware advantage, and he's like, oh no, what do I do?
He's like, I gotta play it.
You gotta.
I can't not play it. So he opens it up, and it's like there's a series of tasks that you have to complete in order to get the idol, right? It's ultimately a hidden immunity idol that he's trying to get.
Eventually, yes.
And he has no vote until he finds that idol.
But it's a series.
A series.
And I don't think he read series because he eventually was like, oh, it's a series.
Oh, yeah. Once he gets to the confessional, he's like opening the clue again. And he's like, wait, a series?
A series of tasks.
Number one of how many?
And the first one is a doozy.
Yeah, it's the he gets a little strip that he has to place against those symbols on the tribe sign to, read a message ultimately is what it's gonna.
It's gonna be like the other half of those letters to read that. But
that's gonna take a minute.
The tribe sign
of him standing at the sign trying to line things up, and you can't really do that at night in the dark.
No.
So I don't know where he's gonna find the time.
He's got to get all of his tribe down the beach. Elsewhere.
Yeah.
We'll see how that works out. But first, let's play immunity.
Let's do it. This one, I loved the crawling through the mud at first. Such a great visual. And we rewatched a season recently where they were covered in mud. Okay. And you remember, and they had to squeeze mud out of their hair into the bucket. And we were talking about this really, we understand why they did this, because the visual of seeing people covered in mud is great. And then I also loved the added layer of they're covered in mud trying to help each other up the wall at the end of the challenge. Yes. So they're slipping out of each other's grips and stuff. I thought it was fun. I mean, it's cruel.
Grueling, but it was really hard to watch just because I was like, this is so hard. I mean, that mud is visually great. Yeah. But to see how hard it is to pull their bodies through it.
Yeah, it's really exhausting people.
And then, oh my gosh, we get to that wall. The wall is hard. Mm-hmm. On a good day.
Yeah.
And
I know.
they are muddy and tired and gross. And we do see different strategies like the climbing up on people, the pulling up.
Yeah.
I mean, Yellow is just like, oh my God, like, get it.
I know.
They're struggling so much on this wall.
They are struggling. That tribe is not the most physically capable. I was really nervous seeing Bruce go out first for Bello Blue because of the climbing under thing.
Yes.
I was like, do not hit your head again on this thing.
Jeff said, keep your head down.
Yeah.
He yelled it out, and I was like, yes. We're all terrified.
Yeah. And like Sabaya, who is really one of the more capable physical players on Lululemon, she was absolutely taking forever in the mud to drag herself through that. It just was really hard. And then they have to move this incredibly heavy bag of coconuts. It's just like a lot of physical exertion, this challenge.
It really was. Let's talk about the idol, though, because he reveals it.
Ooh, that pelican thing.
It's a pelican.
In 2 pieces. I loved that.
I honestly loved it.
Yeah.
This is way better than when it's a skull or, like, like an animal skull.
Yeah.
A snake or something. Like, sometimes they get real creepy.
I know. They do.
Like, a pelican. How lovely.
I know. It was a very nice idol situation this season.
And then also, Jeff was like, so both of you tribes lost that thing, so you're going to have to win your supplies. And I was like, Emily.
Yeah.
Jeff said it. Stop being sus.
Yeah.
He said it. They both lost.
They both lost. Okay.
It's out in the open.
Drop that narrative.
Drop it.
Yeah. So it's Bello Blue who's
Okay.
through the mud and the coconut bag thing first. Then Reba McEntire gets through, and they're doing the toss into the basket thing that's ultimately going to drop, and the crate is going to break. But Lululemon does ultimately catch up when they're doing the like coconut toss. But then once we get to the wall, Brandon has another big fall. Sabaya has a big fall. The Lululemon is really struggling on the wall piece of it because they don't really have, I mean, Caleb's fit, Sabaya's fit, but like Bruce is a big guy for Bello Blue. He's like a good base on that wall to serve as like the human tower. Sifu is like, he's just like big, so he can stand down there and lift people up. And then if he can't do it, Austin can do it. So Lululemon is just missing that resource of like, who's really going to get the tribe up? Caleb like runs up by himself first, but then he ends up having to get down because it's not enough for him to pull people up. He has to get down and like try to help push people up. So Lululemon is just once again a mess.
Yeah. I mean, they really have to like work themselves. Like they're each man for themselves, Lululemon. Like, whereas the other ones can help each other a little bit. Books and Quirks. Thanks for coming back.
It's been a while.
Yes.
Good to see you.
Good to see you, and thank you so much.
Yes, thank you. So it's Reba McEntire who gets to the puzzle first. It's Jay and Drew who are on the puzzle. Makes total sense to me because we know that Jay went to Harvard. We know Drew is Ivy League, total nerd. So not surprised to see that duo on the puzzle for Reba McEntire. And then it's Brando and Kelly on Bello Blue. Again, not surprised to see Brando doing the puzzle on that tribe.
I love that you remember who went to Harvard.
I have to track those things,
Yeah, we do, to their credit, everyone is on the puzzle. Yellow does get up the wall, but Blue is going to take it.
Yeah.
Not Red.
Yeah, I know. Blue made up a lot of time because they got to the puzzle second. Yeah. But Kelly and Brando, got to watch out for them as puzzle solvers. They really made up a lot of time. They won first, but Reba McEntire does get it second. Lululemon was like pretty ingenious with the buffs, getting people up the wall finally. And even Jeff was calling that out, like, never seen that before. The buffs
those were some strong. I was like, they're going to rip.
Oh, yeah. He was like, are those buffs going to hold?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like pulling you up with that buff.
Yeah.
Good thing.
But they did it, but it just wasn't enough. They're going to tribal. And at this point, I'm like, it's Brandon or it's Emily.
Yes.
Everybody's sick of Emily's negativity and everybody's sick of Brandon not being able to do anything because he literally fell on the wall and didn't move. And Jeff came over and was like, do we need another medical check?
No, Jeff was like, Brandon, get up. He was not
I think in his
like
head,
that.
he was like, is this man okay?
I was like, is this man okay? He just fell. We're going to lose Brandon.
And it's not moving.
He's not moving.
Like, Did he break
Jeff's
something?
like, I don't have time for this. Your shenanigans. Get up. I was like, oh my God.
Jeff's like, I have had it
Yeah.
with casting people who have panic attacks. I don't have any patience
It
for
had
this.
undertones of like, I didn't want you here.
Yeah.
I was forced by other producers. It had those undertones.
It did a little bit.
Oh, Jeff. Jeez.
But yeah, so I'm assuming it's Brandon or Emily going into this like camp
But we
conversation.
do hear Brandon. He's the first voice before we go to commercial.
Okay, and what does he say?
He says, it's probably me. I haven't been able to do anything. You know, I feel like I'm in danger. But we know that person never goes home.
We know that's a red herring often. So the first thing that is said at camp is, I really am relieved that we lost because that means I might be able to go home, Hannah.
And you're like, wait, what?
Did you just...
I don't know that we've
what?
heard that before.
Okay.
Hannah's like, God, I would love a bed and some nicotine.
And you know what it's... I mean, listen, I understand the desire to sleep in your own bed and smoke a cigarette.
I love it.
But generally what we would hear is, oh man, like what a relief to lose. Like maybe I'll go home. Ha ha, just kidding. I love this game. I want to win this million and I'll do whatever it takes.
I don't care how hard it is.
Yeah.
It was my dream to be on this show. Here I am. I will power through. That's what you usually hear.
No.
No.
But what we hear is Brandon telling her, you got to hang in there because I need you.
He's like, because guess what? I have chest pains.
I'm a bag of no bones over here.
I have reflux that I actually take medication for at home. And I too am out here just winging it.
So can you please stay?
Can we do this together? Oh, Lordy.
He's like begging her to get her head in the game. And then he's crying again because he's got this reflux, which I don't want to minimize that. Like,
No.
I'm sure it was incredible pain that he was in.
Yes, because stress will make it worse.
Of course.
Yeah.
So he's just like,
Not doing
it's just
well.
one thing after another.
But he tells his tribe he's going to play a shot in the dark.
He's like, I'm not giving up, which I love. And like,
No, you
that's-
don't say that.
well, but I mean, I just love the like, I'm going to do whatever it takes. I'm not giving up. Like, I don't love the strategy of telling your tribe, but I love the like mentality of like, I know that I'm in danger. And if I have to play that shot in the dark on the first vote, I will. But you're right. It's not good to tell the tribe.
I don't know. Maybe they...
Although, who did it work for last season to do that? Where they were like, I'm going to play my shot in the dark. And then they're like, well, let's not vote for that person then. And they
but
went
wasn't
off
there
of that.
something else going on? It wasn't just like I've done horribly. I'm just going to play my shot in the dark. I don't know. I just felt like try to be an ally first. Because what you're saying is I'm not going to support your plan with my vote. Try to be an ally first.
Interesting. Yeah.
Bring it up at tribal. If you still feel shaky, bring it up at tribal and be like, you know what? I'm going to play my shot in the dark.
Yeah.
Like guy who fell down the thing.
Yeah.
He just played it for no reason.
Mm-hmm.
Matthew?
Yes, right.
But no.
But Emily was the plan for Sabaya. But then she's like, I just don't know if Brandon can hack it.
Right, because he's not being an ally at this point.
He's not being an ally. He has fallen, I don't know how many times. He's having a panic attack. He has reflux. Like,
he's got chest pains.
Genuinely, this man might not be built for this.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
Right.
I would really love to get rid of negative Nancy.
Yes.
But maybe we just need to do Brandon this time.
Right.
So she's kind of like, I don't know that he's got like.
These are solid thoughts here happening. She is talking to Caleb about this. Like clearly they've bonded.
Yeah.
They did that horrible challenge together.
Yes.
Emily is going to pitch to Hannah and Brandon.
Oh, yeah.
Because this is her only play, right?
Oh, yeah.
She's got to go to Hannah and Brandon. And she's like, look, we got to split them up. They've already bonded.
She's back on the Caleb and Sabaya train.
Yeah.
She's like, they lied. Wait, no, Jeff confirmed that they didn't lie.
She's like, but still.
Well, they're too strong of a duo.
They're a power duo. We have to break it up. And I was like, okay, this is not bad gameplay.
It's not.
There's obviously not a connection.
Yeah.
You ain't feeling it.
Yeah.
So yeah, put the suspicion on them. Try to break them up.
Yeah. She wants to get Caleb out. She wants to start there.
The problem is it's like she's wrangling cats, right? Like she's pitching to two people who are like barely there.
Well, but also, no offense, Emily, if you're watching, but nobody likes her at this point.
No.
So she's pitching Brandon and Hannah, and then Brandon's like, got it, Emily.
Yeah.
Hey, Caleb, just so you know, Emily wants you out. And so then Caleb's fully aware of the plan. Like, Emily has not positioned herself to be anybody's ally at this point.
That's
even if she is being smart about how to play the game. Another key part of anybody's game is finding allies who will work with you and vote with you.
It's called a social game.
Yeah.
And she has not quite gotten that from the beginning.
Yeah.
And you need it.
Yep.
You need bonds.
But I'll say it again. I'm enjoying watching
it.
Right. But this whole time, I'm like, where's Sean? Sean was not part of these scenes at all.
No,
he was not. He didn't say anything until we're about to go to Tribal, and he's just kind of like, what should we do? Like, that's all he's contributing.
When he sat down at Tribal, I was like, oh my God, Sean's on this show? Nobody pitched to him or talked to him?
Nobody.
But here's what we find out later, is that there was a twist that was completely cut out of this episode. And so I think Sean had to get cut out.
He was with Kendra.
Because he was with Kendra. Because you guys, Kendra from Bella Blue got to come and hang out at Lululemon.
Yeah.
Be a part of the conversation and actually vote.
She had a vote.
She had a vote.
But they didn't vote. And so then they were like, well, there's no point in including this twist in the episode. We'll just edit it out.
So they edited the whole thing out.
So Sean and Kendra must have been around each other too much for them to, they must not have had much footage to use of Sean in the conversation.
Yeah.
Sans Kendra. But I genuinely, because he's on my draft team. So I was like, where is Sean? What's going on? I mean, I kind of felt good going into Tribal because I was like, well, at least Sean's probably safe.
Yeah, he doesn't seem in danger.
Yeah, he's not part of the conversation in any way. But we get to Tribal Council. And, you know, that's talk of like, who are you versus who are you in the game of Survivor, right? And Emily's like, I am weird, aggressive, and extreme.
Yeah, she's like, I'm an extreme version of myself that is weird and aggressive. Jeff's like, did you say that? She's like, I guess I did. Let him out of my mouth. Did I say that?
And then
she did.
Cut to Hannah, and she's like, I'm emotionally wrecked. And my heart is not in it.
Yeah.
I don't want to be here.
Jeff was probably like, wait, what? Wait, what? Wait, what?
Jeff's like, Kendra, save me.
Yeah.
Say something. They had to cut that out.
Yeah. Sabaya is gonna, when Hannah's like, I'm emotionally wrecked, I should just go.
Yeah.
Sabaya's like, we'll vote you out later when we're ready to vote you out.
If I'm Sabaya, I'm like, I'm dragging your butt to the end.
Yeah.
So that nobody votes.
You ain't going nowhere right now. You just hold up. We got 2 other people we got to take care of first.
You are not. You are a problem.
Yeah.
But you're not the biggest problem right now. So sit tight.
Yeah.
You're fine.
Somebody's like, God, we're just going to make it to merge. Just the 2 of us, Caleb. We're these
Truly.
People.
And Sabaya's like, you know, tribe strong, whatever. We need the strength. And Emily's like, well, it's easy for Sabaya to talk about strength. Because you don't have to be a genius to look at the tribe and figure out who the 2 strongest people are. And I think still, it's just a slap across the face, right? I think Sabaya's like, wait, what?
What?
Like,
why are you coming for me?
Yeah.
What?
It really is Chaos Cast vibes.
I mean,
but Chaos Cast had a better social game.
Yeah, I think Chaos Cast like ramped up, right? Like she started real enjoyable, made some friends.
Yeah.
Even though she was like, she had like an edge to her, it wasn't this.
Yeah.
Until later. And I think that's what Emily's missing. Like, I know she has Cass in her head, but she's missing the first part of Cass's
the first like
game.
Initial softness that she kind of had. Yeah. Then talk turns to Brandon's weaknesses. I mean, how could you not talk about that?
Yeah.
But Hannah's like, everybody stop. I'm literally telling you to vote me out.
Did you see Jeff's eyebrow when like he's like talking and he's like, is she serious right now? What's that? He went,
He's like,
she's like,
he's got his earpiece like, did I?
Yeah.
Did she like, say?
Hear me out.
Yeah.
If I haven't been clear, I am leaving.
I will quit.
In some way. You guys can choose, but I am going.
I'm letting you, I actually don't need you to vote me out.
Exactly.
For me to sleep in my own bed tonight.
Yeah.
Which, to be clear, you're not going to sleep in your own bed.
It's going to be.
You're going to go to Ponderosa, and I guess maybe you can chain smoke cigarettes on the pier or something, but like you're not going home tonight. But she's saying like, I'll quit. If you don't vote me out, I will quit.
Right.
And they basically all just kind of come around to like, I think Jeff at some point is like, do you even want to vote? Like, what do you guys want to do? And everyone's like, well, I guess I'm going to vote Hannah tonight. Like,
yeah, she starts to really make a somewhat compelling pitch here of like, these people want to be here and I do not. And I gotta say, as much as we do not like quitters, I am heartbroken for every first boot at a Survivor tribal. Survivor does a great job of getting people who actually love the game.
Yeah.
And so for this year, for her to basically be tribute to take first boot away from Brandon, who legit super fan. Emily, I don't know, somewhat of a fan.
Yeah.
I mean, she did take their place, so I'm not going to be super angry about this.
I guess I would say, I hear you, and I don't disagree. I'm disappointed for the first alternate, who didn't get a chance to play.
Oh, sure.
And Hannah took somebody's spot.
Of course.
She ended up taking somebody's spot who would have died to be on Survivor. And
that's on casting, because they're usually really good about figuring that out, and they didn't. They made a mistake.
And to me, I mean, I'm glad it's out of the way and we don't have to talk about it anymore. Yeah. But like, Survivor's not about who wants to be there the most. That's not what it's about. So the fact that these 5 people wanted it more than her, like, that's just, it's about how you're playing the game. Like, wanting to be on Survivor to me doesn't have anything to do with like your gameplay, So I was just kind of like, I don't really care about that argument. Like, but I'm just glad, that we don't have to listen to her talk about like, I hate it here and I want to go home for episode after episode after episode.
Yeah. I don't know how it happened so quickly. Like, I don't know how you turned that quickly against it, but thank goodness it was episode 1.
Yeah.
Because if she was there just miserable and complaining, and let's say someone else was the first boot and she goes out third, then that's a waste for those first 2 players. So yeah, I'm glad it's out of the way. I'm surprised that she didn't realize it's harder than it seems on television. I think we all know that.
Yeah.
So that was surprising, but I'm grateful that she didn't take, or that she took Emily and Brandon's spot. Honestly.
But she, I mean, in your exit interview, even
though she was my first draft pick.
I know. First draft round.
Thank you.
First round draft pick.
Whatever.
Yeah.
That thing.
Yeah. I did think of that. I was like, oof, that sucks.
Oof.
But in your exit interview,
yeah,
she told you that she was a pandemic fan. She binged Survivor during the pandemic, she'd seen a bunch of seasons, knew the show, but was a little bit newer. So this idea that like she didn't know how much harder it was going to be is a little more believable than I guess it would be if she'd been watching Survivor for 10 years, Yeah,
I definitely wanted to ask her about her history with watching, because I thought, we know this.
Yeah.
We know it's harder than
every season they say that.
We know that the weather is awful and you're sleeping outside.
And the weather wasn't even that bad for the days that we saw this season so far.
But it was edited out.
Oh, the weather was?
And we know that can happen. They're not going to show us every storm that comes through, but there was a monsoon that came through. And, that was part of Hannah's thing. It was like, I had no sleep and I was wet and miserable and hungry and decided to quit my nicotine that day. Yeah. So I was like, I wonder how she watched the show, because I don't feel like she really knew the show. And look, I know a lot of people found the show during the pandemic and we're happy to have the new fans.
Yeah.
But if you're going to go on the show, you kind of do have to do some research. Yeah. Read some articles and stuff.
Ultimately, you're right that it is on casting more than anything, because they should be like, it's like casting Survivor is a little bit like jury selection in a trial. Like, you have to question these people relentlessly and suss out those people who are going to give up and say, I'm just not built for this, because the reality is most people are not built to go on Survivor.
No.
So it's like
the people who are built to go on their Survivor are like, whoa, wow. Impressive.
How are you doing?
Yes.
That's why we love the show so much and why it's so impressive what these people do season after season. But at any rate, it was very sort of weird to see in her exit interview at the end of the show, just a montage of her moments in slow-mo rather than like a vote, because they don't even vote. They just agree that she should go. And like you say, Kendra was there and we just never even knew it on the episode because her vote didn't matter because there was no vote. But
I don't know that she was at Tribal. She might have written her vote down beforehand. But she was at least at camp.
Yeah.
That part we got. Now, Jeff did say if the tribe had said, no, we're still voting, if they hadn't said, all right, her heart's not in it, fine, they would have still voted. And then she might have still quit later and we had 2 people out, which would have really stunk.
Yeah.
Lululemon doesn't need to lose 2 people.
They don't. They do not. But
so, yeah, controversial.
Yeah.
You know, she has every right to change her mind, but it is pretty shocking because the rest of us are like, yeah, it is hard.
I don't know that I've ever seen anybody quit. Can you remember?
It's been a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, of course, there are medical evacuations and all of that stuff, all of the reasons that people go home early, but
there's been quite a few quitters, but not, I mean, in 45 seasons, not that many.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's pretty wild to see, especially when the reasons are, I don't know that we've seen one on episode 1.
Yeah.
Because of the elements.
Yeah.
That's a new one.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, she's gone. Now the preview for next time, Emily continues to be public enemy number 1.
Love.
I'm loving it. Reba McEntire, the whole tribe is like feeling good. And Bruce is a goofball. So that's what we get for next time. I'm wondering what your thoughts are on Bruce after 1 episode, based on the conversation we were having in the draft about like, he's going to have a target on his back, even though he didn't have like that meaningful of an experience, you know, in terms of like time spent on Survivor last season. It felt like people were going to be like Emily was, where it's like, yeah, but you've been here before and you kind of know the drill. And so we got to get you out. But what do you think people are sort of thinking about him at this point? Like, what's your impression?
Which tribe? He's blue.
He's Bellow Blue.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think people are like, let's keep our eye on Bruce. Because even though he didn't really play the game, he does have a little bit of that like comfort level that they don't have.
Yeah.
But I don't think he fits in with his tribe.
He doesn't. Well, the girls seem really strong on
Bellow
Blue. Katura, Kelly, and Kendra seem like they're together because they were, you know, having that conversation about let's get Jake out. Brando, I feel like they're going to keep around because of his puzzle prowess.
Sure.
Bruce, maybe they would keep, like maybe Jake is a first out because Bruce is like physically so strong, but I don't know. They don't seem to be connecting with Bruce socially, which I think might be an issue for him.
Yeah, we'll just have to see how can he really settle into a fun uncle? Because this whole, I don't want to be a leader, but I'm going to lead thing didn't go well, but it didn't seem like anyone was mad. They were just like, okay,
this guy.
But
it was good to see him. Like, I just never would have known that he could sprint up a wall on his own. Remember, like he just ran up the wall by himself and like caught somebody's arm and was just right up there. And I was like, oh, he is like a physically capable guy. Like it was kind of cool to see that side of him. So it was nice. It's nice that he's getting a second chance.
Oh yeah. I mean, he at least needs to be there and just play the game. He'll get out at some point.
Yeah.
Or maybe he'll win.
Could you imagine? Wow. That would be incredible.
All right. Well, that was our episode 1. If you haven't seen the exit interview with Hannah yet, that I put out this morning, please go watch.
Yes.
She was fun to chat with. Obviously, I talked to her about her astrology and how that fits into her wedding, of course.
Did you talk to her about her amazing tarot cards that you drew for her that did not?
No, I was really not gonna bring that up actually. On how I really misinterpreted those cards, clearly. All that love that I was seeing in the cards, I was like, oh no, she left because that's where her love. She did not want this. She went to what she wanted.
She ran toward what she wanted.
That is not what I saw in those cards at all. Ew.
Oh my Lord.
But yeah, we talked about musical theater as well because she's a big musical theater nerd.
That's great.
That was fun. We will actually be back on Monday to recap Amazing Race because that also premiered last night.
Excited to do that.
We got it all season long, so hopefully you are subscribed and going to hang out with us. Looking forward to both of these shows this season.
Yes.
Everyone in the chat, you're amazing. Thank you for coming back another season with us.
Yes.
If you're new, welcome.
Welcome. And if you're joining us later, leave us a comment and let us know what you think about Hannah's exit, who your favorite tribe is, and give us a winner pick. You know I love an early winner prediction. So if you're bold enough, give us your winner predictions in the comments section.
Please do so. All right, you guys. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.